We off in this place, catching vibes, sit back and we blaze in the sky like I'm out of space. Natural high, light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up.
What's going on, Cigar World? What's going on, Cigar Enthusiasts? This is Jack, the Cigar Enthusiast, and I'm back with another banger. And we had a nice week off last weekend, but I was ready to get back to you guys for sure. As you guys see, we changed up the entire makeup, background, and all that. We are really trying to start getting everything kind of in the normal of what it's going to be when we decide to open these doors finally. No, seriously, man. We experienced this pipe problem. It exploded. We had to redo a drywall, which is really why we're not open. We were supposed to open on February 19th, but as you see, we're ready to go. But like I said, there's some things that just has to happen the way it happens. God intended it for it to, be a delay. So guess what? There's a delay. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get the segment really started where we are about to plant our new home at, right? The virtual smoke deck is definitely about to be coming from Dapper D Cigars here in River City, Jacksonville, Florida. So if you're new to the channel, man, and you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, give us a huge thumbs up. And if you're watching on Facebook, for everybody, which I'm surprised ain't nobody been doing, for everybody that seemed to have forgotten, drop a hello, hey, what's up in the comment box so we can go ahead and show you some love on the virtual smoke deck, as well to just get some interacting going. Today we're smoking on the Opus X Fuente Torpedo, man, one of my, I wouldn't say favorites, but it's a good peppery cigar, so I can't go wrong with it. Man, how's everybody been, man? How was everybody's Valentine's Day? I missed y'all last week. And obviously, I'm in a cigar lounge. What up, Lee? Man, look, I want to shout my boy out before we even continue on and go. My man, Leandric, been helping me out here at Dapper D's, getting it all together, from putting the chairs together to moving stuff to here, man. Just been a blessing to me, man. So, again, appreciate you so much, brother. Can't wait to smoke with you here in the shop. What's up, Grey Wolf, my man, the myth, the legend, my brother, Grey Wolf is in the building. Rodney McLowan. Rodney Lowen, another brother that's been helping us put this shop together, man. These brothers is literally just came out of nowhere. God sent them to me, and it's really been just, really just being a blessing to me, man. And that's all I be needing sometimes. Lewis, man, what's going on? Hey, I know, right? Somebody give me a lighter, man. Where? Oh, it's just me. Hey, but no, for real, this thing is going to get lit. Oh, see, there it is. I got it. See, because of you, brother, we got it to going. X-Ron, what's going on, man? My man, the myth, Gamma. Man, appreciate you. So anyway, today on the virtual smoke deck, we're doing, hold on. Wait a minute. I thought I was finished. My beautiful wife in the whole wide world just decided to just spread some love on me. So whenever she comment, I got to stop what I'm doing and go ahead and show my baby some love. Cheers, what's up, champ? All the way from Cake Key in the building. Anyway, today on the virtual smoke deck is we were supposed to have Tracy from Ultimate CEO Cigars on this week, but unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I know that seemed to be my favorite line this week, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, Tracy couldn't make it. So guess what? We were supposed to do Cigars and Business Talk next week, but we're going to move it on up to this week, and then we got Tracy on again next week. But anyway, man, today we're talking about the power of networking, man. And as I talked about with Leandric as well as Rodney, and these two brothers right here, when we talk about the power of networking, these two brothers came out of nowhere. And instead of looking, hey, Jack, can I get some free cigars? Or, hey, Jack, can I do this? Or, hey, Jack, can I do that? It automatically started just pouring love into me, man. And hey, Dan, our new moderator and brother of the Leaf online community, man, thank you so much for everything you're doing. And honestly, my brother Johnny, man, I love you, Johnny. But anyway, so the power of networking is very powerful. Again, when you start seeing the, different things like, the people I explained, and then even all the people that like you guys showing love on the virtual smoke deck, you look back at, 8 months ago, this wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? But you guys have been showing love. But again, that goes in the power of networking. Too many times, people get kind of big-headed, right? They start to think that, oh, my shit don't stink and everybody wants to be my friend and everybody. Yeah, that could be true. But 9 times out of 10, your shit do stink. And 9 times out of 10, the people only want to be your friend because they want some type of financial or, monetary gain from you. Instead of you networking with everybody and just being nice to everybody, you walk around with some snobby ass attitude all the time. And that gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere at all. So the power of networking really, it kind of starts with you, right? You can't network if you don't know how to be or speak to people. Otherwise, if you don't never learn that, then you can never do this thing called networking. And what networking is just a simple way to become friends with people. Oh, y'all came. Hey, I said all of that. Y'all came all the way, spending your time with me for me to wrap it up just like that. No, I wish it was that simple. But in reality, it is. All you're doing is treating people how you want to be treated. And then eventually you meet people like judges and lawyers and, great friends like Rodney and, beautiful wives like my wife, Renisha. And then good friends like everybody else that's just been tuning in and dropping love because you're just being a people person. That's it. That's it. So the power of networking is really the power of you. How much you want to grow, how much you want your business to grow, how much do you want to grow your friendships with people? Because that's all networking is. And there's a couple of things that you have to first understand in order just to get to the part of networking. You got to be able to learn how to talk to people. And I said that, but I'm going to give you some tips and pointers on how to talk to people, right? So many times, right? Hold on. So this is not what we're going to do this time. This is Cigars and Business, but for some apparent reason, I always just talk and never get to smoke my cigar. So today, we're going to smoke our cigar and have Cigar and Business talk, okay? But anyway. And clearly, I'm still having technical difficulties with my lighter. Y'all give me a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, that quick. Anyway, so how do you make friends with strangers, right? And this is something I had to learn, right? I always been this people and talking, and I love to talk to people. So that has never been one of my shy moments in my life. I actually love to talk to people, and I'm pretty sure you guys can already kind of figure that out already. But it's about how you talk to people, right? It's a matter of how you listen to people, for that matter. People often, when they meet somebody, it's a receiver and then a talker. All right. Now, the talker the main talker always only wants to talk about themselves. They will ask little questions like, man, how'd you find this place? Or, small talk conversations. But really what it is, exactly. And we're about to get to that, Gray Wolf. Let me pop that comment up. What happens is they're eventually only asking you enough questions to the point where they can start talking about themselves. Especially for men, we always want to ask, what's your profession? What do you do? Yada, yada, yada. What's your networking? Different things of that nature. But more of the story, Mac, the main purpose of them even asking questions is only to get to the point that they can talk about themselves. Now, how do you stop that? How do you break that up? You don't. whoever's going to be the talker, the receiver got to understand the position that they're in. And then you just let them talk. And one book I read is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Never Split the Difference, a negotiating book, right? But it's more of it says it's a negotiation book, but it's really a psychological book. It really dives into the psychological warfare or the mindsets of people and the way that they kind of interact with people unintentionally. We often do things like squint our eyebrows or squint our eyebrows when we're like this, when we're trying to think or we don't understand what really somebody's saying, or we be like when we agree with something or be like, whoa, that was good. We often open our eyes and raise our eyebrows. It's a natural reaction. Or we'll sit here and say, agree. Yeah. Say words of, agreement. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Things of that nature. And what you're doing is you're agreeing with them. That means that they're saying something that resonates with you. Now, when it doesn't, you kind of just sit back and you just listen. Too many times, though, in the midst of this talker and receiver part, you miss your opportunity to connect with this person, because if you're the talker, all you're doing is this. And eventually, like for me, if you ever come up to me and you just spitting, I'm gonna look at you. I'm listening. I'm listening to you, but you kind of lost me already, because at the end of the day, you're it's called a water hose. All you're doing is water hosing information. The point of making friendships and building friendships or even building a network is a tit for tat type of deal. You speak, I speak. You speak, I speak. We got this little card when me and my wife went to a marriage retreat, and it's a speaker card. So when you got the speaker card, you talk. When you don't have the speaker card, you listen, right? But if the speaker, when they have that card, just keeps spotting on, and for an hour or 2 hours, you can't get nothing in, then eventually you're gonna just be done with it. It's the point of the speaker and the receiver part is you give the card, you say what you say. When it's time for an answer to that, you give the card to the other person for them to answer, and you keep exchanging. That's the same thing we do when we're meeting people, right? When you're sitting in these seats and Dapper D Cigars and you're looking to network with people, you can't just be the person that want to talk about yourself. I don't care if you're a millionaire. You can be sitting back next to somebody that's a billionaire, but because you already feel like in your mind that you have it all together and you are the greatest of all greats, then now you just missed out on an opportunity to network. So it's, again, building a relationship, but you got to understand the talker and receiver. Now, if you're a receiver, you're always a receiver. You're always so reserved to a point where you never talk. That's a negative too, because how can I get to know you, or how can I realize, I can help you if you never talk? I know this past week we had our fire inspections and final inspections and all that, and the fire marshal had came in and was talking about how, his wife has been trying to open up a business. I'm not going to put any names out, but for the sake of the metaphor or the conversation for this matter, we're going to name him Adam. All right. And his wife was Eve. Okay. He came in and was talking about how Eve is having a hard time, figuring out the funding route for businesses. Mind you, if you've been watching, Cigars and Business Talk, we spoke about how to build bank relationships. But anyway, he came in and said he's been having a hard time, struggling. His wife has been struggling to try to get this, putting out too much money into their business, and doesn't really have a cushion. And I said, well, one, pass me. one, let's get this knocked out. You got to pass us first. And then, whenever your wife gets a chance, have her call me. I would love to, have the conversation and talk everything over. Now, fast forward about 30 minutes later, him and his wife walks in. I'm like, did you pass me? He said, yeah. I said, okay, we can talk. And we sat down and I explained the process to her, asked her questions like, do you have a business plan? Do you have a performer? Do you have projections? Do you know your market analysis? Do you have your customer base? Like, do you have customers? How are you going to little things of that nature, right? And eventually it was yeah. Now, a wise man once told me, you don't have to always know the answer, but it's best to have people that has the answer, which means that you're networking with enough people that you can just pick up the phone and be like, hey, I need your help or I need your assistance with X, Y, and Z. So again, power of networking, right, is what we're talking about. I called my banker and I said, hey, brother, I got this lady right in front of me named Adam. I mean, named Eve. That's not her real name, but Eve. And her husband is Adam with so-and-so. And I need you to look out for him. You know, she seems like she got her head on her shoulder. She has a business plan, has this. I'm going to give her your information. Y'all network, y'all talk, and let me know. I didn't have to do that, right? But for me, I love to see people succeed. Like, that has been my thing. That is why we have a virtual smoke day. That's why we have, you know, our talks with our guests. It's like not really about what their business is and what their brand is and what this and what's that. What has helped them succeed so we can get the apples and the gems out there for other people to be like, oh, I didn't think about that, right? Jesus. So anyway, they walk in, call them, they talk. Man, my guy that I referred her to came back and was like, bro, like I am really looking forward to working with her. And Jesus, I am really looking forward to working with her. And man, thank you so much. And again, at the end of the day, all I had to do was call on somebody that was in my network and refer them. That is the power of networking. Now, how do we get there? We don't get there by always being a receiver and a talker. As stated before we got into that, if you're the receiver, you have to learn. You have to learn to talk. You have to learn. And the guy that I referred is a receiver. I'm a talker, right? And I said no, it would never be that. But with him, he is very reserved. He's analytical, and you have to pick up on those psychological things. You have to learn to read people's body language. You know when somebody doesn't want to talk about something no more. You can tell. They give you cues, and you can tell when you spark something, they want to talk about it. So whenever you spark it, let them go. Let them go. Gain every piece of information you can from them, and they will again eventually get to a point where they are helping you out tremendously. And I got all these lighters around here, and none of the really. Hold on, guys. It's clearly got air in it. But anyway, guess I'm not smoking today. So anyway, when you're the receiver and you're talker, or the speaker and the receiver, you have to learn to break them up, right? That's how you get to know people. Never shotgun people, right? So as conversations progress, you want to ask meaningful but short questions. Meaningful but short questions. How did you do that? Where did you start at? How did you learn that? Where can I find that? What should I do better? What could I do better? You being in the position that you're in. So in all actuality, right? All you're doing is asking short questions that's getting them to talk more. Short questions, talk more. More questions, talk less. I've learned that. The longer the question is, the less they talk. The shorter the question is, the more they talk. And eventually, as you talk about things, you just continue to just talk about what it is that they keep going about. Now, this is if. Now, disclaimer, everything that I just said is if you want to, gain that person as a network. Now, if you're on the receiving end and they're trying to build you into their network, there's a couple things that you must consider before just let any Joe Schmo into your network. But the point of it is to protect yourself. You are what you hang around. You are what you talk with or communicate with. So if I talk with people that is not looking to expand themselves and content with where they're at, then unfortunately, I'm not trying to have that in my network because, again, if we're talking and different things of that nature, then I need stuff that's going to be more empowering, right? That's how There you go, Gray Wolf. Always ask leading questions. But if you're always talking with somebody and that is so content with what it is that they're doing, then 9 times out of 10, they're not there to be a benefit or a blessing to you. They're there to just keep you where you are. You're doing great, Jack. Why would you want to go do that? Why would you want to go open up another lounge? Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to start this business? Why would you want? Hey, look, buddy, sir. My dreams and my direction, my path that I'm going on has nothing to do with you, because that's the mindset you're just talking about. So at the end of the day, majority of the time when people want to talk, they either want to be a part of it, or sometimes you just need to talk. And you have to understand both perspectives. I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't even know. Hey, well, I'm going to follow his advice. Y'all give me a second. Bam! We in business. I'm sorry, guys. Usually I have about 30 lighters surrounding me at one time. Okay. Well, I thought we had it figured out. Don't y'all hate when y'all have like the stupidest problems happen in the most inconvenient times? It's like, why is none of my lighters working? Am I not meant to smoke today? Which I highly doubt that's a thing. We're always supposed to smoke. Smoking cigars is good for you. It's a cure to coronavirus. All right. Anyway, back to the power of networking. It looks like I got my cigar lit. Anyway, so and start a whole complete fire up in this mug. Go to dapperdcigars.com and get your free lighter today. I mean, free. Yeah, free for me. Yeah, free lighter. Camacho, little lighters. 5 bucks, get a free cigar, lighter, and cutter today. Let's go. Anyway, so yeah, back to where we was. So the power of networking. So we talked about being the receiver and the talker, and then we also talked about, you know, understanding where people align in your network, right? I've been blessed with people. My wife is gonna laugh, but it's so true. I've been blessed with men, because I think a lot of people know by now that I grew up without a father. I grew up without a father and don't know who my father is. And I realized that over time, I would talk about these things and not understand the resentment that was in my voice, or understand the change in the mood and how I speak of it, right? I had to take a step back and realize that when one of my mentors, he was like, Jack, He's actually one of my millionaire mentors. He said, Jack, I noticed something over the last couple of episodes you have done. He said, you have talked about your father. And when you talk about your father, I hear this tonality change in your voice. And I just want to be that lifeline for you. So I am willing to be your father figure. And I'm like, we're going to call him Gary. Gary, that's ridiculous. That is not the truth. And then I sat back and analyzed it and said, he had took the time to study me. He had learned what I like to talk about and spoke to me about that. And what it did for me, it brought me closer to him. Yeah, I don't really want him to be my father figure. He's a great guy, but I'm not looking for a father. I'm not looking for somebody I can call daddy or any of that or those type of things. But what he really showed me was when people really care about you, they go a long way to learn about you, right? And whether that is talking about things that is unpolitically correct, or making outrageous gestures like the one I explained, but that is ultimately somebody that I want in my corner, right? That is somebody that I want to have my back, and just when I decided to go on this business journey, man, I didn't even know where to start. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had no clue where to start. I had this guy reach out. I told him I wanted to start a business, and he was like, I will tell you everything you need to know. I actually own 5 businesses and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, but again, great, Jesus Christ. But again, if I didn't take the time out to get, just one extra question, but get to know him and allow him to get to know me, we would have never had that relationship or that network. The next thing is about, the power of networking is you got to make yourself vulnerable. Too many times when people talk, they want to talk as if they know it all. The best thing you can do, whether you know it all or not, is sit back and just be humble. Sit back and listen. Everybody has a gem in their brain that they're willing to give out if all you can do is listen. So, as I talked about the talker, let's talk deeper about the receiver, right? You have to sit here and make yourself receptive to having conversations with people that make you, that may seem like a weird situation. Anytime you're in a comfortable environment with new people, that is a problem. I said it. That is a problem. I like to be in very uncomfortable situations. I feel like I do better in those type of environments. But I also find when you're uncomfortable, you do less talking. You can do more listening, right? And when you're able to do more listening, especially around people of a caliber that you're trying to reach, they teach you so damn much. They don't even have to say a lot of words. They just teach you stuff because you're able and receptive to listening. Like I got a good friend of mine. We're going to call him Eddie. Eddie, man, he is one of the hardest people to talk to, right? But he has in very short in conversation, but he gets to the point and he knows how to, give you so much powerful words in 2 words. So many lessons in just 2 words. How? Because he have been there, done that. This guy has a 1968 Ferrari. Like, it's preserved and beautiful. But you have to, in order to do that, you have to put yourselves in uncomfortable situations. Is everything. And it's really about how you listen. How you listen. If you don't listen well, then guess what? You're probably not going to network well. If you listen great, then 9 times out of 10, this person's going to keep you around. We went to a Christmas party 2 years ago. My guy had easily 6,000, 7,000 square foot house, which may not be big to some of you guys, but it's huge to me. All right. He had 3 Christmas trees. One was a Louis Vuitton tree. And I don't care about, designer stuff and none of that. But what I do care about is the next part. He had about 7 to 10 humidors spread out throughout his house, all with vintage cigars in them. He had a whole entire house of the Padron 50th year. If anybody knows about the 50th year house, it costs like $5,000 just for, those. Then it comes with 500 cigars, 100 in the box, and then you get 4 refills. So price tag is about what, $100 a stick or something like that. Yeah, about $100 a stick. And he gave me 4 of them, right? And maybe my math is wrong, but somebody do the calculations and send it to me or put in the comments. I think it's 500 cigars for $5,000. Anyway, he gave me 4 of them, and also showed me some pre-embargo Cubans. He had freaking just. I brought him 2 cigars, and I felt like shit for bringing them the cigars that I picked some good ones, like a 1964 Padron, and I think it was a Perdomo, a 20th year. Some decent cigars. Man, I felt like shit after he showed me what he had. I was like, "You want me to take my cigars back?" But again, he was like, "Look, man, I'm willing to smoke with you anytime, anything you need, man. Let me know." I didn't end up getting back with him, which is my fault. Because at that time I wasn't able to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. I didn't know how to network with that type of crowd in the magnitude in which he was doing it at. Not because I wasn't ready, it's just my maturity wasn't there. So my power of networking was very minimum. I could probably call him now, but it's been too much time in between where we would have to pretty much reestablish a whole new relationship, whole new conversation and all that. Things changed. But, that's one of the situations where in my past, I was like, man, if I would have got to him and, was able to actually network with him, it would have been a different situation. It would have been, some lessons that we'd have learned there that I probably wouldn't even make the mistakes I wouldn't have made right now, but that is really the niche to it. Is you have to be able to listen and receive and also do some self-evaluations on yourself and figure out where do you want to go. When you figure out where you want to go, it's often placed upon you people that will help you get there. Now, if you don't know the people to get there, then you need to put yourselves in uncomfortable situations to meet those people. That's why when I opened up Dapper G's, I want it to be a cigar lounge that is geared to networking. Because when you have a subversive network and you're able to really put yourself out into a projected audience that can take you to the next level, the best place to do it is in a cigar lounge. But most of the time, if you got a club environment or you have somewhere that is not receptive to bringing, business professionals in, people, that are part of Fortune 500 companies or, directors of the hospitals and all that stuff, then you're kind of doing a disservice to the point of the cigar lounge. The cigar lounge, just like the golf course, is meant to be arenas for you to network. And if you're not doing that, if you're not networking in these environments and you're just here to smoke a cigar and talk to yourself, then you're wrong. We went to Tampa last weekend for Valentine's Day, and I want to just shout out my amazing wife again because I was like, Jesus, love, like, we cannot go to Tampa this weekend, the week prior to us opening. And God said otherwise. And that's why that leak sprung up, because he said, hey, I said, go. So go. So we went out there and we went to shout out to Davidoff of Geneva, Tampa. Beautiful spot. Jeff, you have a beautiful location out there. It's like a mile, if that, from the Super Bowl champ stadium. And we do what we do when we go to the lounge. We like to network and fellowship, and we love talking to people. Me and my wife are both social butterflies, but I tell you, it's really easy to give us a wrong vibe, and we won't talk to you no more. But anyway, we met this couple, and for the sake of this story, we're gonna label them J and K. Okay. Jay is an actual architectural engineer. Like, if anybody don't know what that is, they are the people that designs, like, you know, any building, any plan. They create the blueprints for you to build that plan, right? From the AC units and all that. And I mean, even during this build, we had one, and you know, reputable guy, but I mean, it was trash to me. So when we got to know him, we talked. It got to a point where the conversation got so good. I was like, "Hey, brother, we're going to, you know, the steakhouse for dinner. We would love for you to come join us, you know, for, you know, it was actually Valentine's Day, for our Valentine's Day dinner, you and your old lady." And you know, this guy is just kind of poured so much into me. We poured so much into them, and I realized that, you know, I always felt like I wanted to teach in some type of magnitude. And I used to try to use my YouTube channel for that. And it wasn't something that I really like to do. It wasn't something like the YouTube and teaching about cigars was good for a while, but I got kind of tired of that. Now I love doing the virtual smoke deck. The virtual smoke deck is my thing. Like, I feel like I'm all right at this, right? But anyway, you know, we was talking and brainstorming, and I told him about this, and he was like, "Man, just based off of our conversation, I think you should teach this lesson." And I don't want to put it out there yet because I think I am gonna move forward with it. But he was like, "Man, I think you'll be dynamic in this avenue." And I was like, "Man, you know, that's crazy that." That's crazy that you just met me and, you know, can pretty much call that out, because so many times, right, we expect, you know, our blessings to come from just, you know, God himself. Well, that's not how it works. He sends people in your life to give you, you know, things that you've been asking for, whether you take it or not, leave it. That's on you, but you may be skipping out on a blessing because you didn't listen, right? But you may be, you know, protecting yourself from an attack if you simply, you know, carefully analyze what they're saying. If it's not going to do any harm to you or your business or anything of that nature, and doesn't require, you know, pay them $100 and they change your life or read your fortune, then I think you'll be all right. But anyway, man, me and his brother and his old lady, my wife, were talking, and I mean, just dynamic conversation. It was dynamic. But again, that is part of, you know, networking with people and just talking with people. This guy can pour into me. Maybe, well, definitely mentally, but in a physical aspect, when I go to open more Dapper D's lounges and you know, some other projects that we have, I got an architectural engineer that I can call and be like, "Hey, you know, I'm looking at this project. Would y'all mind drawing it up for me?" That is a plus. That is somebody good to have in your network. And it was just like dynamic, you know, in a way that when you are in an unfamiliar situation, that is where you need to strive. You know, I got our chairs set up to look right at each other. I don't have them lined up on a wall because I don't want you to look at a TV. I want you to look at each other and talk. And if you can't do that, then now we have a problem. Not me and you, or Dapper D's and you. I don't care what you do. But the problem is you have somebody sitting across from you, get to know them, learn. That's why I love the cigar community, right? Because the cigar community is one of those communities that bring people together from all walks of life, from all tax brackets, from all net worths. and put them in one spot just to smoke these beautiful God gifted magic sticks. They are put on this earth for us to bond over those. That's why when I see dysfunction or I see division within the cigar community, it doesn't make sense, because we all come together for the love of this. We were all sitting here and talk for the love of this. It does not matter the background. Like Grey Wolf, man, awesome guy. Would have never met Santa Claus ever in my life if it wasn't for him. He's Santa Claus. That's what Grey Wolf is, Santa Claus. No, seriously, he's dressed up as Santa Claus on the Christmas months, but awesome brother, awesome man. Met him in Johnny Smokes Uncut, and that is the type of relationships, man. I would love for Grey Wolf one day to come down here and come through my front door and drop off presents and show my daughter that Santa Claus is real, so she can go back and tell all her friends that she really seen Santa Claus. Because if y'all see this dude, Grey Wolf post a picture or something, so I can show everybody his Santa Claus pictures. But anyway, that is the power of networking. That's what I'm getting to, right? Get to know people, get to know their story, and everybody that you interact with, man. Everybody you interact with is a blessing to your purpose. Everybody. You just have to look at it. That may be somebody you can help up become bigger than you. Or it could be somebody that's bigger than you that can help you be bigger than them. It's a revolving door. You have to give people the opportunity, and you just have to treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't be the receiver all the time, and damn sure don't be the talker all the time. You need to sit back and analyze. See what is making them click. Get them to talk about what they want, what they like and what they don't like, because that's gonna give you, key indicators of what kind of person you're dealing with. If you give people the opportunity to talk, they will talk. If you don't give them the opportunity to talk, then they won't say anything. See, look, a real Santa. Go look at it after y'all get off the virtual smoke deck. Go over there. And I promise you, y'all gonna be calling her, hey, we need to book you for a Santa Claus event, because this guy is a real deal. Seriously. He lives in the North Pole. Seriously. Hey, Grey Wolf, man, I appreciate everything you do every week, man. You come in and join us every week, man. I really do. Thank you so much for that. But anyway, man, so get yourself into unfamiliar situations. Talk with people, get to know them, learn them, understand if they have a wife or they have a husband, then you need to get to know them too, right? Because those are the deal breakers. They are something called the deal breaker, right? You just can't be friends with me and not, acknowledge my wife when she's around, and even when she's not around. Just having respect for her to say, well, if you want to go somewhere, let's do it. Let's do X, Y, and Z. That's how you win me. Okay. Me and my wife are like this. We analyze everything together. Trust and believe. If I don't see something, she sees it. You need to have that person. You need to have that person that you can talk to about situations, or talk to about that's going to be a positive, not a negative, but a positive affirmation for you. Whether it's something you want to hear or it's something you don't want to hear, there's somebody that can provide a positive affirmation. Man, that's awesome, bro. That right there just made my day. I don't do this for tens of millions of people to watch. I do this for one person. If it helps one person, man, one person, I'm good, man. Thanks, Grey Wolf. Absolutely, man. My brother, I already know what you're agreeing on, champ. But again, you gotta have somebody that puts in positive affirmations. Man, too many times we want to run advice past people that have negative affirmations. That is not what we're here to do. You need to talk with somebody that has your back, and they have your back. And not all the time your wife and husband have your back. And if they don't, you need to get rid of them, right? Because that is not what's going to help you strive and put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Comfortable people do not allow you to get in uncomfortable situations. All right. You need to learn to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. When I talk to people, man, I'm never afraid to ask a question. No question is a dumb question. Take that shit out your head. When people say, I don't want to ask a dumb question, no question is a dumb question, because obviously you're asking that question because you don't know. So anyway, like I said, man, you got to ask those questions. No question is a dumb question. If you don't know something, ask it. If you want to know something, ask it. If you just want to know somebody's name, ask them the damn name. That's going to start a conversation. And when they tell you your name, when they tell you their name, remember it. Don't ever forget it. Right? I learned that from Rodney, man. Rodney is like the best guy with names, bro. When I sit here and say he remembers names like that, I was like, man, how do you do that? Because eventually I got to remember names, and I am bad at it. So for anybody that comes to Dapper D's and be like, you don't know me yet, Jack? Look, I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure it out. Just give me time. Just like y'all been giving me time with this lounge. Give me time. I'm going to figure it out. But yeah, anyway, it's been a pleasure, man. You know, last week, kind of getting off that power of networking is a wrap. Definitely remember, put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Never be the talker or the receiver too much. Listen to learn. And yeah, be great. Anyway, last week, man, I missed you guys for real. I was again in Tampa. We was at the Davidoff and went to the Grand Cathedral. Nice, beautiful lounges. I recommend go to all of them. See, I'm different, man. I tell you that much. I am a different person. So you wouldn't dare see some people talk about other cigar lounges in their cigar lounge with their logo on their podcast about another lounge. But I am a true believer that when something's great, you just say it's great, because that means that you're going to eventually get to somewhere that's great. So if you're ever in those areas, man, go check them out. Great lounges. I'm sure you're going to love it. If you're looking for Fuente, I'm telling you now, Grand Cathedral has them. If you're looking for Davidoff, Davidoff Geneva has everything Davidoff that you can think of. Both lounges, I believe, do not have an online sector, but you should definitely go check them out if you're ever in Tampa, and bring your cash rewards card or a good savings amount, because you're gonna need it. All right. Again, I appreciate everybody and all your continuous support, man. When I go live, you guys jump on and you share. When I do the virtual smoke deck, you jump on, you're in tune, you're active, you're proactive in the segment, man. That is what drives me, man. And I appreciate you, man. And hey, look, and people like you, Lewis, man, I appreciate you. Lewis lives in Kissimmee, somewhere in that area. And this brother just jumped on the train, man, and has been just helping me and supporting me as much as he possibly can. So I appreciate it, man. And Dan came through, retired police officer out of California, I believe. It's been a great asset to the Brother of the Leaf group. Every time you see a person use their name, it conveys friendliness and helps you regrain their name. And also, along with being humble, just apologize if you have forgotten it. Gem of the day, right there. If you're looking for that gem, it's right there. That right there is it. That's it. I apologize. No, the two strongest words in American dictionary is I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's it. Chico. That's in Cali. Yep. So, yeah, anyway. I appreciate y'all support, man. Next week we are live with Tracy and AT with Ultimate CEO Cigar. There's a new boutique line that is launched here in Jacksonville. We're gonna give them some love. Make sure y'all tune in for that. The following week, let me look at my calendar so I can give you guys an update, which is also the week we're opening. The 7th, we have Jay Gatz. Jay Gatz is a brother out of Atlanta. Great friends to Michael Herlock, man. And he actually referred him to me to come onto the show. This brother just launched his own magazine. It's like a Dapper clothing magazine. So obviously Dapper D, right? I mean, the brother just is a genius when it comes to fashion, man. And we're going to dive deeper into him. And then the 14th, we have Jeff from Corona Cigars actually on the show. And again, this is going to be great. March 5th, I promise you it's not going back again. March 5th, we are having the grand opening of the soft opening of Dapper D's. May 8th, which marks a year that our businesses started, is going to be our grand opening here in Jacksonville. We have a patio in our back, the back of our lounge. We're going to have a live band. We're going to have probably a cigar roller. I can't promise that, but we're working on it. Rolling cigars out there. We're going to have gift bags. We're going to have raffles. We're going to have a percentage off the entire humidor. We're going to get gifts if you buy boxes. I mean, it's going to be major. And we're also going to have a rep here. We haven't figured out the rep, but we're gonna tie it in where it all works out, man. I'm looking for you guys to have a great time in Dapper D's. If you're ever in a Jacksonville area, fly in or driving into off the 95, stop in. We're off of the Jacksonville International Airport exit. Stop in, man. Come check us out, man. We would love to have you guys. Anybody that is looking to become a member here at Dapper D's, make sure you go to dapperdcigars.com and check out our membership page, where you can learn everything about our memberships. We have over 60 lockers here. Well, not over. We have 60 lockers here that are accessible for membership. So if you're in the Jacksonville area looking for that, please come join the family. I like to call this a family because this is what exactly it is. It may be a dysfunctional one, but this is a family where we are literally looking to pour in. So a couple of things that I want to just kind of put out on this segment, because next week is really going to be, with guests, and the next couple of weeks is going to be with guests. One thing about Dapper D's is we're doing things different. All right. We're going to have something called Business in the Spotlight. Is going to be a bi-weekly thing where we bring entrepreneurs or high-level folks in these different industries into the lounge just to talk about them. We're also going to have live bands. I want to say live bands, but my space is not big enough for an entire band. So we are going to have live performances by one of the top recording artists here in Jacksonville by the name of Hayes. Can't wait to have him in. His brother knows how to sing, just phenomenal vocals, and knows how to get our old school music, jazz, all that type of stuff, man. Very diverse in the music culture. We're gonna have events here at Dapper D's. It's gonna be some member events and just some open lounge events. We're also going to be doing something called Turn and Burn. And Turn and Burn, I hope Rodney is still on. If he's not, I'm going to tag him in this. But Rodney is a great brother here in Jacksonville, man. And he is also one of the pastors here on one of the big churches here anyway. Brother loves cigars. And the Turn and Burn is not to call it a Bible study. I never wanted to call it a Bible study, but we would have encouraging conversations that can help men and women daily in their life and how to become better at business, being a better human being or being a better professional, whatever the case may be. So be on the lookout for that. That turn and burn, I'm really excited about that. And I'm hoping that Rodney would step up and lead it. And I just give the place for it. He doesn't want to, but I'm putting him on blast here on the virtual smoke deck. Rodney, I need you to go ahead and take on that turn and burn. I will support it. I will market it. I would do all of that. Anyway, yeah. So again, we're different. If you have any cigar needs or wants, go check us out at dapperDcigars.com. Go follow us at the Virtual Smoke Deck live on Facebook. And also go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Jack the Cigar Enthusiast on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and give us a huge thumbs up. Oh, last update. For anybody that's been following my Bovita video, I took it down, right? Not because I was getting comments. I took it down because I want to make sure that when we put information out, we have a full understanding. Not we have a full understanding, but we convey the entirety of what we're trying to put out in the complexity in which it should be delivered. Which means is I want to learn how to simplify that type of information. And honestly, guys, I really feel like my YouTube channel, I think I'm going to go a direction with the virtual smoke deck with it. I'm going to keep all my educational videos up, but I really want to kind of go in a more of a podcasting type route, which we may be launching something by this summer, a new segment, part of the virtual smoke deck umbrella. That's going to be great. It's going to be a morning show. And I'm looking at a day that's going to be, really advantageous for most, probably like a Wednesday, to kind of give you a boost during your week. But yeah, anyway, if you guys have any questions, if you guys know anybody that we should have on a virtual smoke deck, man, make sure you go ahead and pass along our information. Again, I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast. I appreciate you guys. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, our gem of the day is learn to put yourself in uncomfortable situations so you can be better. I'm Jack the Cigar Enthusiast, and I'm gone.